Hey, I got Grapefruit Substance from Bissell Brothers. I guess they have the grapefruits here, but it says grapefruit very small there. Different colors. So Substance is Bissell Brothers flagship IPA. Very dank one, but very much New England style. And then have been making one with grapefruit, and it's just I don't know how they use the grapefruit. It's real grapefruit, um, but I don't know if they're adding a puree of the whole fruit, if they're just adding a puree of the flesh. I assume it's just not grapefruit juice, but I've tried adding grapefruit juice, I buy some grapefruit juice, add it to the beer, and it doesn't, this works a lot better than that. So whatever they're doing seems to be working. So Substance is 6.6% alcohol, and it uses a hop bill that you'd think of would be popular like 15 years ago. They haven't been making it for 15 years, but I know that when they first started making it, like 2012 or something, 2013, they wanted to use Citra and Mosaic and stuff, but they couldn't get it. So the brewers figured out a way, mainly Noah Bissell, figured out a way to use hops you could get his hands on and make a sort of juicy beer. You can see it's got some color to it. I think the grapefruit probably gives it a little bit of a reddish tinge. And the head looks really nice. You can see whenever a head like pours and it has like different angles of bubbles, and that tells you that it's not all just collapsing and popping. And the bubbles are popping kind of fast, but it has a real nice head. Should have a nice feel. So this uses Chinook, Eureka, Simcoe, and Falconer's Flight's hop, which is old-fashioned hop combo. Falconer's Flight is a blend of all of the classic C hops, and I think also maybe there is Citra in there or something. So yeah, this is just their Substance with grapefruit. And for some reason, these cans didn't have any dates on them, but I think they just released a batch of this at the brewery like 2.5 weeks ago, so it's very fresh. There you go. And it's not murky hazy, but you cannot see my finger through there. And I guess the head's dying down somewhat quickly. And I always get this note of like asparagus from this, and it's kind of obscured. Yeah, the grapefruit really takes this into the juicy, citrusy realm even more than the sort of like interesting salady realm. But it doesn't jump out, hit you in the face with grapefruit. Like they're definitely using real grapefruit, not like a little bit of grapefruit, natural flavors, which is what's in like seltzer and most grapefruit, mass-produced grapefruit beers. They just put like a drop of this stuff, and it's like a essential oil almost. It's like explosively grapefruit in your face, dominating everything else, and I don't really like that in beer. This smells like, it's like real juicy ruby red grapefruit, and like orange too. But it doesn't smell like it's going to be as bitter and acidic as grapefruit is. And there's just some hints of like pininess in there, almost like bergamot. Wow, the first sip almost seems like it's some kind of Belgian-y, and the finish is all grapefruit, all juicy grapefruit. Interesting. I like it. It's rather unique. I mean, grapefruit IPA is not a new idea, but putting real grapefruit into a hazy, dank IPA is not something that I've had a lot of. Of course, there's Grapefruit Sculpin that was a huge hit 10 years ago. But that was, using a drop of grapefruit flavoring. Yeah, the head died down. It is a little bit more acidic than a regular Substance, but it's not so much that it's astringent and unpleasant. And it has a little bit of a shandy vibe, but it is IPA, potent IPA first. And it's juicy. It's like very summery. That's what I would say. And yeah, maybe it'd be good to do a side-by-side of this. Take a regular substance, pour some grapefruit juice in it, see how they compare. But that's this my worry with a lot of beers that have real fruit added, is fruit does have bitterness and acidity. Grapefruit has like the most bitterness and acidity of most fruit, but it works here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like a probably one of the best sort of like crossover IPA shandy things I've had. But definitely not too sour or bitter. And substance by itself is one of the more bitter, dank, piney, hazy IPAs that's really popular still. I'm not getting much yeast character or anything, which in some Bissell IPAs you can really notice the yeast, and I don't like that as much. It's less so with substance, and with this, nothing. It definitely dries out your palate and your tongue, but not a huge amount. Just almost a little bit like tannic. Excuse me. Let's see if we got any sediment. There's a little bit of sediment in there, actually. There we are. No chunks or anything. The other thing is I guess there's a decent aroma. And the grapefruit is nice. It's kind of got a creamy element to it. And one big thing is like getting an IPA with orange is just like, well, orange is one of the flavors of hops. You don't need the orange. But with the substance, it's like, I don't know, this kind of works. Even though I wouldn't be my first idea. Because if you added something super sweet, like papaya or mango, it would kind of clash with this. But the grapefruit melds nicely. It doesn't completely distract from the whole beer. But usually if I want a fruited IPA, like at Treehouse, they make a million of them now, especially on tap. And usually I'll go for, a tropical fruit they mix in and not just orange, because it's like, well, orange is just, that's all hops have kind of an orangey character. But I like this one. $18 is maybe a little steep for it at the brew. I'm sure at liquor stores is $20. But it's worth a try. And it's very well done and more palatable than I thought. 425. Bye.